Hey B's and G's, main brew guy. So the garage is a fucking mess because I've been building the deck and I still have to build the last bit of stairs, and there's all that lumber still there. And I still gotta dig a few more sonotubes, quickcrete and sonotubes and blah de blah fucking blah. And then I got this sack of grains I bought and I haven't even put it in the buckets. And then I got all my tools stacked on top of it. And oh, by the way, I'm trying to do a double brew day with my 2016 SJ Pour sessionable beer. And then directly after that is Dropkick Nate. Now, it's going to be a long effing day because I have to first clean this mess. Then I have to sort out if I have enough of the inventory. And I already know that for one of the brews, peated malt, I don't have. I just gave it away. We have in the specialty grain cabinet. Well, Row, he thinks he has to go to the brew store. Bollocks. Oh, which? Whoa. Too early in the morning and no shower to be that close to the camera. All right. See this lovely grain mill? This barley crusher works beautifully. Okay, this grain mill I was going to keep as a backup because I had so many people say that Captain Crush starts to malfunction. I'm going out on a limb, fellas. This is going to be a giveaway. This giveaway, the only catch to getting this grain mill, I want brew tubers to come forward with a picture of themselves in front of their brew equipment. I don't care if it's 2 coolers and a table, and a brew in the bag system, or extract brew on the stove. I don't care what it is. Send me a picture to qualify for this grain mill of you in front of what you use to brew equipment. I may feature you on the Brew Tubers main page. Gonna put the email right in the video. Also gonna put it in the comments below. Send me a picture and then you qualify for this grain mill. And this is worldwide. The only catch is anything out of the continental United States, you're gonna have to pay shipping. And it does come with a handle if you so desire, but I highly recommend that you don't use it. Here is said handle. So if you want that grain mill, send me a picture, put your name in the hat for the drawing of the grain mill, and good luck. The second drawing is going to be for the folks that already have a grain mill and don't care to enter a contest. Well, we have something for you. So you get a lovely t-shirt, a glass, which I don't have in my hand at this very moment, a bottle opener, and a decal. That is your prize for also sending me a picture of you in front of your brew equipment. So I'm doing something a little different this morning because I have time. I have to go to the brew shop. So I decided I'm going to plumb this in such a way that the pump is going to recirculate through the plate chiller, through the coil, and back into the HLT there. And kind of purge the system with some OxyClean, and then I'm going to go ahead and purge it again with just water for a while. The last time I really kind of soaked everything, it's still fairly clean. It's running pretty clean. And the water doesn't look tainted at all, so maybe it's a waste of time, but I'll let it. Okay, well, I guess after I came back from the brew store, I don't know if you can see that, but that was fairly clear water. Well, it wasn't fairly clear, it was absolutely clear when I started. So, yeah. Guess kind of needed it. Yeah, it's a pain in the ass, but this is my collected reverse osmosis water. Okay. So this recipe I adjusted because of the low ABV, and I'm using a dry yeast, something that's going to ferment down fairly low. I'm having a higher mash temp to try to keep some unfermentables in suspension to give the beer a feel of a big beer with a low ABV. Alright, I just mashed in, and the recirc is bringing it back up pretty quick. Actually, yeah, that's the right one. So yeah. Oh shit! Yeah, I was wondering why that was sitting at 53. 153. Didn't have the elements on. So yeah, so far the 2016 SJ Pour Challenge beer has been a challenge. 2 trips to the brew store. Yeah, even before my day started, and I still plan on doing a double brew day with Dropkick Nate being the second. Yeah, being the second beer. And I'm just recirculating now, and that's only on the first beer. And it is 1:30. It's going to be a long day. Yeah. So to do this challenge beer, take an traditional style, and I'm taking that style and trying to make it sessionable when it typically is just a little bit above the range of 4.5. So it's not a stretch, but I'm going to do some things with this one that, I don't know how to explain it. It's just going to, without giving it away, but it's going to be different. The beer is sort of going to be in style with some additional flavors in the beer. Anyway, we'll see how it turns out, because I've never made this one before. I drew this one up specifically for the challenge. And to help me get in that range, I decided to mash in at 156. And so that's where we're at right now. Basically, because the yeast I'm using is going to be a little on the drier side. So to try to counteract that and not get my alcohol content up too high by driving down that final gravity, I brought the temperature up on the mash. I'm walking a fine line here. It's 4.4 ABV on paper, so I have to hit my numbers. I'll show you first runnings of my SJ Pour Challenge beer. This might give it away. All right. It is not Black Betty. Told you it was a new recipe. New recipe. Water additions. So I'll have to boil. I can't go over 1046. That's my upper limit. So I'll boil normal, and if I go a little over, I'll add some water. Okay, first edition. I think that was the extent of pellet hops. The rest are going to be. I better back that off a little bit. I'm going to have a boil over. Now that's a vigorous boil. Started the boil, first edition in. Mash tun empty and clean. heating up strike water. RO water is in there already. And so now let's go ahead and put together the grain bill for Dropkick Nate. So I'm doing a 6.5 gallon batch, are adjusted accordingly by alpha acids. I had my adjustments are a little different on my hop additions, but the IBUs are virtually the same. So that's really what we want. And I ended up with 81% versus 18%. And it says Munich malt here, but I did get the Bonlander Munich. Same thing under the table Brewing boys were using, hopefully. Although I didn't see what the mash in temp was. I'm hoping it was 152. That's the only unknown. Little grain bill for Dropkick Nate. Little fuggles. Fuggles. 30-minute edition. Dropkick Nate is mashing in. Whirlpooling my challenge beater. So I do the whirlpool and the chill at the same time. So I already I ran it through the chiller just with the hot work, without the water running through, to pasteurize the chiller. And then I have it go through the pump into the plate chiller, out of the plate chiller, into here, and whirlpool and cool at the same time. That way I can run the valve wide open. And I don't have to worry about the temperature there, because I'm watching the temperature here. To 11.5. I don't know why it doesn't work on my phone. I don't know if you can see that. If I get closer, it gets fuzzy. 11.5. It gets me to 4.4 ABV. A little bit of a buffer in case I ferment down a little lower than I anticipate. Challenge beer. Aerated. I didn't really have time to do a starter. I'm going to double pitch White Labs. I'm not going to tell you what yeast I'm using. It might give away what I'm doing. Voila. Now, it's up to nature to do the rest. Okay, since that's done, now I've started my first runs of Dropkick Nate. And I'm going to fly sparge over the top. Smells good. Boom. Time. Okay. Hops. Shit. Hops. Whoa, El Dorado right away. So if I did oversparge, which I still haven't gone back and gone over my notes, but I may have oversparged by 3/4 of a gallon, now that I think of it. That's okay. With that kind of boil right there, I'll make it up. First beer of the day, boys. Now that all the math is done. Kolsch. Oh, I have the hiccups. Came out good. This was actually my first beer I did with RO water. Very clean and crisp. Whirlpool edition, Whirlpool edition. Yeah, I still have the hiccups. Oh, so smells so amazing. Dang. Okay, boys. You guys made a good recipe. Let's keep the bugs out. Okay, I had to get to 12.5 on the bricks to get to 1051 on the boil, because my estimated was going to end up being lower based on my pre-boil gravity. It's hard to tell there, but it is 12.5. So I got to 1051, and my recipe called for 1051. So I think just the way the grain's laid out in a 6.5 gallon batch, it was between 1051 and 1052. I'm not sure what the boys got under the table when they initially brewed this beer. It smells awesome. Cooling now. I'm going to transfer to 6.5 gallon carboy in a moment, and then aerate and pitch. I don't know what your water profile is out there, boys, so I used RO water and then just built a water profile based on an American IPA. That should work out. Other than that, the Dropkick Nate day was uneventful. My challenge beer brew day was a little more challenging, but I hit my numbers. Look at the collection of Cold Break and Trube. It's crazy. A Whirlpool really does make a lot of that settle out. Let's see what the fermentation room has to. Oh, well, look at that. The next morning, and that's the challenge beer, which was pitched with 2 Y yeasts, and Dropkick Nate was pitched with USO5. And I'm not seeing any activity at the very moment, but I was a few minutes. There we go. Yeah. Good morning, B's and G's. I wanted to add one final note to the video. Days before I was going to brew Dropkick Nate, I didn't really have the recipe. I texted Nate via YouTube and asked if I could get his recipe to brew Dropkick Nate on Saturday or over the weekend. And yeah, he said, sure, no problem. And what's your email? So I sent the message back with my email, and I must have fat-fingered the email. So anyway, he sent me, or tried to send me his recipe, but of course the email rejected. He must have texted me back on messaging, but I don't always look at those, the YouTube messages, because they're kind of buried. So I go in there every so often. And so I didn't go back and look, and he tried to get me to respond, and I didn't respond. So he called a few people that he knew I knew through BrewTubers, and he figured one of them must have my phone number, and sure enough, he got my phone number and called me and said, man, I'm trying to send you this recipe, and I think you gave me the wrong email. And of course I did. So, I mean, that's the level of, you know, camaraderie and friendship that you develop over the internet. I mean, who knew, right? But I mean, we have a common thread, and it's brewing beer, wholesome. I don't know. I find us, you know, down to earth, wholesome, no matter what our economic status is. We all kind of we drink the same Kool-Aid. I don't know what else to put it. Anyway, I thought that was the most amazing thing. Thanks, Nate. I really appreciate it. Anyway, I wanted to add that in. Sorry to make this such a long video. Cheers. Happy Homebrew Wednesday. Peace.